Okay, in preparation for our 1516 quiz in geometry, we're going to go through these review problems. The simplest name for this angle in the beginning, because there's nothing else going on at B, is just to call it angle B. Or, of course, use 3 letters with the vertex in the middle, angle ABC, or reverse those letters, CBA. Same thing with number 4. We can simply call it angle G, or angle FGH. Reverse the letters HGF. And again, just as a reminder, we were using, I'm looking for a marker, and of course I don't just have red, but in our notes we were for a while identifying the vertex in red and making sure that the vertex went in the middle of each name. Now these were 3 different names for the same angle. When we look over at problem number 7, this is a little bit different because there's actually 3 different angles. Like right here, this is write 3 names for the same angle. Here it's pick out 3 different. Now in our notes packet we had done something like this where we went and said the largest angle is HMN, and then what 2 smaller angles made up that large angle? Angle HMK and angle NMK. Every time I say angle, I put that symbol on my paper. Again, vertex in the middle, and these are examples of 3 different angles. Now with problem 8, the large angle itself, angle GJF. If I break it into the 2 smaller angles, GJC, angle GJC, and angle FJC, FJC. Now, a couple of things here. As long as your J is in the middle for all of these, of course, you can reverse the letters, but just understand that this was a collection of 3 different angles, unlike this numbers 3 and 4, where it was just the same angle named 3 different ways. In number 21, I'm going to go and highlight what they're asking us to get here. In both these problems, 21 and 22, I know the numbering's all over the place. I just grabbed the problems that I wanted to see you guys review. All we have to do for these is add together the angle measures. Angle ABC is 58 degrees. And I'm working through this quickly because my hope and guess is that these are all done and you're just going through answers to double check real quick. I got 108 for that one. I was just making sure that I had highlighted the right angle, LMN, yep. Now, in number 23, they tell us that angle RST, okay, so they give us the whole angle is 114 degrees. That's how I would show that. Find the measure of RSV. So basically, they want to find out what this angle is. Why don't we just put a little, I can put a little X there for an unknown, or I can just look at it, well, X is what? 114 minus that 72. That missing angle is also 72 degrees. So we could actually say, in this case, just as a review of this idea, that ray SV is an angle bisector because it splits into the angle. Ray SV is a bisector. Jot it down because it splits that angle into 2 equal parts. I just did the whole problem and you couldn't see it. Well, there you go. Now you have it. Ray SV is a bisector. Sorry about that. Now, 25. Let me make sure that I don't go screwing these up here. I'm going to put my work for 25 and 26 on some lined paper. Find the indicated measure. Let's see what we've got going on here. Measure of angle ABC is 95. Okay, so that's the entire angle is 95, and then this wants us to find the measure of each of the 2 different parts. Right on. So what I'm going to do is put together these 2 quantities, 2x plus 23, and the other angle is written as 9x minus 5. Those 2 together are 95 degrees. Now, I'm going to keep my 95 over here. I'm going to simplify this left-hand side, write it a little bit simpler before I start undoing. That's going to be 11 x's, and 23 minus 5 is positive 18. 23 minus 5 is 18. Now, to go ahead and solve this, I've got to move this up. I'm not used to making videos at my desk at home. To go ahead and solve this, then, I'm going to start undoing by taking away 18 from both sides. And 95 minus 18 is going to leave me with 77. So 11x is equals 77. When I divide both sides by 11, I'm going to find out that x is 7. And again, I know I'm doing these quickly, but my hope is that you've already done the work for these. Include your work, too, when you turn this in with your quiz. The measure of angle, let's see, ABD ABD is going to be ABD 2 times 7 plus 23. That's going to be 14 plus 23. That's going to be 37 degrees. 14 plus 23, 37, yep, for sure. And then I'm going to go and, again, use my x is 7 to find out the measure of angle DBC, which is going to be 9 times 7, 63 minus 5. That's going to be 58. Now, double checking it all, 37 plus 58, well, 37 plus 58 is certainly 95. So my answers check out. The angles are 37 degrees and 58. And again, if you have work on another piece of paper, just label it and include it. 26, I think I can put 26 on here. For this problem, the angle XYZ, XY to Z is the large one for sure. It's the same idea as number 25. This time those two angles together add to 117. So 6x plus 44 minus 10x plus 65 equals 117. Now 6x minus 10x, oh yeah, I remember this problem. It winds up with a negative. It's kind of weird. 44 plus 65 is going to give us a 109 on this side. So now that I've got the left side simplified, it does look strange, but I'm going to take 109 away from both sides. Should be switching my colors. Negative 4x equals 117 minus 109 is going to leave me with 8. Now, as I finish this problem and divide by negative 4, I get an answer that x is negative 2. Now, that might seem like a weird answer because we're dealing with measurements, but I also see that this has got a negative value in here when I want to go calculate this angle. So I'm going to check these out and go right along with, let's see, XYW, measure of angle XYW. I'm going to assume that my negative 2 is correct. Is 6 times negative 2, that's going to be negative 12, plus 44, that's going to be 32 degrees. I'm doing this in my head pretty quick. I'm going to check with my calculator. You got it. Okay, so 32 degrees. Now, if I do my math right, 117 minus 32, I should get an answer for this other angle that's positive 85. Let's see what happens. And I just did 117 minus 32. The difference was 85. WYZ is going to be equal to negative 10 times negative 2 plus 65. There you go. There's our 85. Negative 10 times negative 2 is 20 plus 65 is 85. Yeah, 85. Exactly what I needed to have. All right. So, spent a little bit of time on that last one there. Sorry about that. Move over to number 24. I kind of skipped over that one, but we still have time on this. Let's see, GHK is a straight angle. I come right at it and say, all right, the measure's 180 degrees. So then this missing measure they have here, you could put X, or you just come over and show the process. 180 minus 79 leaves us with 101 degrees for that missing angle. Now, problems 37 and 38 are the directions. Boy, imagine that. Reading the directions, you get some idea about what's going on here. I had made some markings in class because what I read was that ray BD is the bisector. So that means if it's bisecting the ABC angle, and I've got an ABC angle in both, that means I can set the measures of the angles equal to each other. If BD is the bisector, that means that both of these angles are the same. So setting them equal to each other and starting my undoing process, if I take away 3x from both sides, I'm going to run out of room here. I'm going to get 3x plus 14 equals 29. And if I take 14 away from both sides, it's going to take me to 3x equals 15. When I divide by 3 on both sides, it's going to be x is 5. Now, I know I left off some steps there, but I talked through them. I'm going to come back up here and put in my 5. What is 6 times 5 plus 14? That is 30 plus 14, 44 degrees. Let me do the math over here. What's 3 times 5? 15 plus 29, that's 44 degrees. So those two angles are 44 degrees each. Same idea for number 38. Set them equal to each other and then use the x. 3x plus 6 equals 7x minus 18. I'm going to start by subtracting 3 x's from both sides. 6 equals 4x plus 18. Oops, minus 18. Almost lost that one. Now I'm going to add 18. So 24 equals 4x. And when I divide both sides by 4, I get x is 6. 3 times 6 is 18, plus another 6 should be 24. Let's hope I get the same thing for the other angle. 7 times 6 minus 18 is 42, minus 18, that's also 24. So my missing angles for that are both 24 degrees. I'm going to separate out this from the 1-6 review just so we have time to stop and I can answer any questions you might still have.